Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our first board meeting in our new boardroom and our new district office. I can guarantee you we'll be making all kinds of mistakes because everything's in a different spot than it usually is. I want to welcome you all. We're very happy to have you. I'd like to first ask you all to stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The first item on the agenda is a report out from closed session. Just prior to this meeting, the board met in closed session where the board took action to release a probationary classified employee from their position prior to the conclusion of their probationary period. Next, I'd like to share with you our meeting protocols. We love to have people here. We love to hear from everybody and get your participation. We do ask when members address the board for civility and the use of courteous language. The board does not condone the use of profanity, vulgar language, gestures, or any other inappropriate behavior, including personal attacks or threats directed towards any meeting participant or district employee. We have multiple opportunities to speak. If you want to speak on an agenda item, just let us know. We have some speaker cards. I believe they're over there. They're at the front desk. Fill out a speaker card. We'll make sure that we call you when that agenda item is called. If you want to speak to something that's not on the agenda but within the jurisdiction of this board, we will have a public open forum where you can speak to us at that time. If we have 10 or more members of the public that would like to speak, you'll have 90 seconds to address us. If we have 9 or less, you will have 3 minutes to address us. If you have a complaint about a specific employee or employees of the district, those complaints should be made to that employee's immediate supervisor or the school site principal as outlined in our board policy and administrative regulations. This meeting is being audio and video recorded and will be archived. Our very first item should be no surprise. We have some guests here who are going to share a performance from the West Park High School drama program. And I think they're going to give us a snippet of Beauty and the Beast. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, it is all yours.
For those of you that don't know me, my name is Casper Lapp. I am the program director at West Park High School for the Theater Arts program. I'm also joined by Alyssa Bazink, our music director and choir teacher who's helping us run sound. I'm going to come back and speak to you a little bit more about our process during dance break that they will not be doing for you today to fill that time. But just thank you so much to our district administration and our board members for allowing us to be here to share our art with you today. Please enjoy the West Park Players excerpt from our upcoming fall production of Beauty and the Beast.
We were going to have you.
Do it again, take two.
Ma chère mademoiselle, it is with deepest pride and greatest pleasure that we welcome you here tonight. And now we invite you to relax. Let us pull up a chair as the dining room proudly presents your dinner. Be our guests, ye our guests, put our service to the test. Tie a napkin around your neck, shall we, and we provide the rest. Soup du jour, hot hors d'oeuvre, why we only live to serve. Try the gray stuff,
It's delicious.
don't believe me, ask the dishes. They can sing, they can dance. After all, this dish is France, and dinner here is never second class. Look on your menu, take a glance, and then you'll be our guest. We our guest, be our guest.
Beef ragout, cheese souffle, pie and pudding on flambe.
We'll prepare and serve with flair a culinary cabaret. You're alone, everyone's scared, but the banquet's all prepared. No one's gloomy or complaining while the flatware's entertaining.
We tell jokes,
I do tricks with my fellow candlesticks.
and it's all in perfect taste that you can bet. Come on and lift your glass, you've won your own free pass to be our guest.
If you're stressed, it's fine dining, we suggest.
Be our guest, be our guest, be our guest. Oh. Be our guest, be our guest, get your worries off your chest. Let us stay for your entree, we venerate, maybe suggest. Try the bread, try the soup, while the crew comes with tea-loop. It's a treat for any diner, don't believe me, ask the China.
Singing pork, dancing meal, what an entertaining meal.
How could anyone be gloomy or depressed? We'll make you shout, encore, and send us out for more, so be our guest.
Be our guest,
Be our guest.
It's a guest, six alive, they'll all be blessed. Mine's been poured and explored, I've had the napkins freshly pressed. With dessert, she'll want tea, and my dear, that's fine with me. All the cups do dance, love sharing, I'll be bubbling, I'll be brewing, I'll get more. I think that's taste, and that's what we want the company to rest.
We got a lot to do.
Is this one lump or two? For you are guest. She's our guest.
She's our guest, be our guest, be our guest, be our guest.
life is so unnerving. For his servants, who is not serving, he's not whole without his soul to win the bond. Ah, those good old days when we were small. Suddenly, those good old days are gone. For years, we have been rusting, needing so much more than dusting, needing exercise, a chance to use our those days we just lay around in our soul. Flabby, fat, and lazy, you walked in and whoops a daisy.
Lumiere, think of what the master will do if he finds out about this.
another dance sequence that I'm going to talk you through. But we just wanted to share our work with you and invite you to come see our show. We have 90 students in this cast and crew. We've been working on this since the beginning of the year. We've got 65 cast members and about 25 student crew members that are designing the whole set and lights and everything. We have experienced seniors leading the way. We have about a third of our cast has never been in a production before or on stage. So we open November 14th. We would love to see you in the audience. Please come be our guest for this tale as old as time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Information out. You can also visit our Instagram at West Park Players, and you can come see all of the magical spoons and plates and wardrobes and whisks and cheese graters. We hope to see you there. They're working so hard on bringing this story to life. So thank you all for having us.
Thank you all very much. What a wonderful way to open up our new facility. Thank you all very much. With that, we will move into our regular agenda, which starts with board expectations. Tiffany is going to read those for us.
The Roseville Joint Union High School District Board expectations. Prepare all students for life, college, and career. High-quality academic opportunities for all students. Support student academic success. Engage in partnership with families and the community. The school is a welcoming, safe environment that serves as the center of student learning, activities, athletics, and performing arts. Promote a sense of community in our schools and the surrounding areas. And utilize effective governance and business practices. Remain open, transparent, and accountable to the community. Serve as an employer of choice with the highest quality teachers and staff.
Thank you very much. And now we're going to move into our board reports. I'll go ahead and get us started since mine's relatively short. Since our last meeting, which was a month ago, done a few things in relation to the school district. One is I got to go to Oakmont High School and participate in the high school voter outreach program in partnership with the Placer County Registrar of Voters. If my colleagues, I know some of you have been there, but for the others who haven't, it's a great opportunity to really engage with students and to have an opportunity to really help them understand the value of our voting system and help them get registered to vote. I was shocked at, I don't know why I said shocked, but they always surprise me when they ask such complicated and complex questions as they seek to understand. So that it's a great display of how smart our kids are. I just enjoy doing that. Also had the opportunity to go to the Santucci golf tournament. I don't golf, but I was able to go for the food and the fun, and it was both good food and good fun. So I was very happy to be there, and I'm sure we'll probably get a little report from Joe later. Are you going to talk about that at all? Do we know how much money we made or anything? All right, Joe will fill us in, but it's a great opportunity where we raise money for scholarships for our high school students. I know there's a school safety conference being held later on in the month, and we have staff from our district office that is going to do a presentation on a number of different things on how we deal with our behavioral threats, assessments, and some other safety issues there. And then John and I, in partnership with Andrew Tagg, a former board member of ours who's now with the Placer County Board of Education, we're going to be doing a panel on the importance of board policies and how board policies can support school safety. Can't remember the date, but it's not this Saturday coming up. It's the one after that, whatever date that may be. And then completely unrelated, is I had the opportunity to go to Philadelphia and spend a couple days in Philadelphia, and it's just, I took a couple of students from the university with me, but it's just such a wonderful time. If you haven't been there, I really encourage you to go there. The opportunity to walk in the same footsteps of where our founding fathers walked, to be able to go in and see the very first Supreme Court, the ability to go in the first Liberty Hall, Congressional Hall, all of that stuff. It's just an amazing, wonderful place, and you can't really leave that area without having been changed just a little bit. So I encourage everybody, if you haven't had a chance to go there, go, because it's quite an experience. And with that, I think we'll start with Marla, and then we'll work our way back across things.
Okay, it has been a month, but I would just like to highlight a visit to Oakmont. I appreciate Mr. Fuljon taking the time to show me around, and I know I've said this before, but I'm always appreciative of how each of our comprehensive sites are unique and offer, while they offer all of our traditional academic offerings that we'd expect, everyone's a little different, and I appreciate that we allow that, and I think it's a strength of our district. So I just need to give a shout out to the multimedia class and the Health Academy Culinary, who gave me a lovely lunch with homemade ranch with a salad and sourdough, and I know they probably do that every time, because I know you mentioned that. So, but that's just fun to see, that I know not all of our campuses have that opportunity for our kids. And woodworking and a very high energy dance class, dance 1, I think. I also visited the co-taught IM1 math class, and I just appreciate the teachers. I know that's an interruption, so I appreciate their time and the patience as we go through those classrooms. And we also had a SILT meeting, but I'll let you give us an update of that when we get there. So thanks.
Okay, first of all, I just wanted to acknowledge the new building. This is such a beautiful place for our employees, and I'm so happy that it's brought them together under one roof. And I wanted to acknowledge Scott Davis and all the work that you've done to make this building possible for many years now, and so thank you. There's a 1,000 little details. I will just say, I was talking to Joe about this, and I'm quoting Joe. He said of Scott, Scott saves our district so much money, he puts in tons of hours, and our district is lucky to have him. So I just wanted to acknowledge you. I was able to do voter outreach at Roosevelt High School and Wood Creek High School, and it really was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I learned a lot. It was great to hear from different perspectives and to hear the questions that the different students asked. I really enjoyed that. I was able to go to Pathways and have a site visit with Principal Fernandez, and let's see, I lost you there. Took me on a great tour of the campus. That campus was so beautiful, the mature trees that were there. It was such a clean campus. I just thought it was so beautiful. And I am better understanding more and more the connection between all the Pathways schools, and kind of don't know how you wrangle each different school, and yet they're all intertwined as well. You really utilize each of them well. So thank you for that. I was able to visit at West Park High School with Principal House, and I really appreciated how intentional Principal House is in the decisions that she makes for her school. That was the takeaway that I had, and how she sees West Park beyond just her time at West Park, but many, many years from now. And I asked her how she would describe the vibe or culture of West Park High School, and she referred back to their motto, which I should have known because I saw it when I walked in. It was emblazoned on the wall, but it didn't really stick with me, but she told me it's "we value people and love to learn." And I thought that was fantastic. I was really happy to learn that. So thank you so much for those visits.
Almost forgot to say, since we're talking about voter outreach, if anyone hasn't had the chance to go tour the new Placer County registrar voters clerk's office, now is a great time. You can actually go there and watch them receive, verify, and count the ballots. I know there's a lot of people that have maybe lost faith in our electoral system. It's a great opportunity because we have one of the best systems in the state right here in Placer County. So I encourage you and maybe have the principals encourage the student government teachers to take the classes. They will set up a tour and you get to see it from A to Z, from the envelope that comes in all the way till it's counted and archived, and everything in between. And it's quite an impressive process.
All right, well, that was quite a grand opening to the building. I feel like we're not going to ever top that. I loved that. I know they're all gone, but I just want to say how amazing they were. I'm one of those people where I just cry like a child when I see young people performing. I know, I was kind of grateful for like the little tech issue at the beginning. I was like, okay, I'm not going to be able to cry now. This is like a great diversion. I'm not going to be able to put myself together. And then just like, Luminaire, I love Beauty and the Beast, so I'm going to go to that play every night if they'll let me. So they were great. I used to be a competitive ballroom dancer, so like the ballroom scene, like it just was fabulous. And I know that that wasn't even on their stage, in their costumes, with all the lighting, so I'm very excited. And I was like trying to not cry all over the dais. So that being said, the last couple weeks, same as Pete and a lot of us, got to do the high school voter outreach at Wood Creek and at Roseville High. And that was amazing, exactly what you said, the questions that they asked. And the kids were so thoughtful and poised and, civil. They asked really probing questions. They asked questions in ways that I hadn't necessarily heard it phrased before. So that was something I hadn't ever done before. And in fact, I walked over to Wood Creek just to observe so that I could be prepared to do it the following week. But then there was an accidental last minute cancellation. And they were like, can you do it? And I'm like, no, I can't do it. I've never even seen it. I didn't even really fully understand what it was. But Stacy from the Placer County Elections Office, she just like took me into it. I'm like, okay, I'm doing this. So they were great. The students were very gracious. And then I was at the golf tournament as well as a non-golfer, but just seeing the amount of support and donations and volunteers and the effort that goes into it, and they changed it to the Aldo Panetti Memorial Golf Tournament. So it was all just very special and a great day to chat with everyone. And I'll be at Wood Creek High School next week. So looking forward to that. That's about it.
Okay, well, the last few weeks have been pretty busy, not so much with board stuff, but busy overall. I have to say my highlights were watching all the Instagram posts from homecoming, and my goodness, West Park knocked it out of, I wanted to go. I'm like, can we go next year? Can all the schools do it this way? Are we allowed to go to homecoming? That looked like so much fun. And I've heard the kids all had a great time, but it's just so great to see all the kids dressed up and with their flowers, and they really enjoy that time of year. So that was really special to see. And then I also attended the golf tournament, and I signed up to help, and I think they intentionally gave me a time to show up where I didn't have to do anything. It was already ready to go. So the best way for me to be helpful was to buy tickets, and so I bought a ton of tickets, more than I had planned, and I won 2 baskets. So that was really fun.
And then I also did the Placer County voter registration day at Wood Creek. That was a lot of fun, and I have to say it was an eye-opener just to watch these kids. It really is impressive to see adults getting kids fired up about voting again and listening to their questions, and it just kind of gets the wheels turning of what our kids need and what we can be teaching a little bit more at home. And then I also attended the Laughing Together at Oakmont. I think it was last Monday or the Monday before, and there wasn't very many people there, surprisingly, but it was actually really interesting. It was an improv night, and the kids there was a bunch of our Oakmont students who were up on stage and practicing improv warm-up strategies, and I was just thinking, this would be an amazing opportunity for all of our teachers to just plug some of those activities in to get kids used to, eye contact, practicing eye contact, and getting comfortable with being silly or making mistakes and trying to think quicker on their feet. So I was really impressed with those strategies they were working with the kids on at Oakmont that day. So that's it. It's been my last couple of weeks. Lots of good things happening in our district.
Thank you. I did forget to thank Becky for homecoming. I attended virtually from my house, and it was wonderful. No, I'm serious. It is. I love living that close and being able to hear it all. And I know you might have gotten some flack, but I'll tell you, do not turn down the volume. It is a great community event, and I feel like I don't have to go to football games because I get the play-by-play, and it's great. So I know I see all the Facebook posts, but don't turn the volume down.
You can make a song request for next year. We'll take your song.
I will. Yeah, dancing at home. All right, now off to our student board members. I can barely see you down there, but glad to have you. Push and hold there a little bit.
Thank you to the board for having me today. So for Wood Creek, we are in the post-Club Rush season. So a plethora of clubs are currently pushing out leadership opportunities, fundraisers, service events, and it's really nice to just see our community being served here at Wood Creek. We're currently pushing out our annual fall blood drive. The blood drive is an amazing cause. 1 in every 7 patients in a hospital are in need of blood. So it's amazing how Wood Creek continues to make an impact in this area. Additionally, Wood Creek students are currently registering for their AP exams. So it's really nice to just see how many, so many different demographics of students are getting ready to take their AP exams. And And finally, we have kept up with the tradition of our school-wide recognition system. So we have our Teacher of the Month and Student Athlete of the Week. And this is a great way of sparking motivation within school. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Austin Rich. I'm a representative of Roseville Pathways. Since the last time I've had the chance to speak, students from the Pathways program have had the opportunity to hear several presentations from Placer County, which has given students some insight on how and why you should register to vote in the upcoming election. This presentation happened during the last week of September. Also in September, Pathways had a good career fair on campus. It was well attended. It was really a big milestone for our leadership program, as it was kind of the first of its kind, and it was a really high stake event for our leadership program. Earlier in October, 6 students from Roseville Pathways had the opportunity to network with students from other school districts at the CATA Leadership Conference in Woodland. Later this month, student government is also planning our next Spirit Week, which will be themed around Harry Potter, and have dress-up days and lunchtime activities with the Harvest Fest event. Finally, Bite of Reality, which is a financial simulation on how you're going to spend 1 month's salary, which will be earned at a random job, as well as how to survive and live off the salary, will be presenting at Pathways next Monday. We would also like to thank Roseville High School Activities Director, Mr. Maddox, for providing us and donating butcher paper for our student government program. That will be all.
Thank you. And now we'll move to our superintendent and cabinet reports. Can't see Mel. We're gonna get your phone book for next week.
All right, well, thank you. First and foremost, West Park coming here with their drama program and putting on that performance. It's truly amazing, and it really captures every single one of our board expectations, from the academic opportunities to be able to perform. That's what connects these students to their schools, to their community. It puts purpose into why they come to school every day, and that's what's so amazing. So I'm just very grateful. We have administrators, we have a board, we have teachers and a community who care about the arts and what it can do. They talk about 90 kids being involved in this. That's 90 kids that wouldn't do anything else if we didn't have this for them. And so I'm just very grateful for that, and I was glad they were here. Obviously, everybody's seen the building transition. The coolest part has been Roseville Police Department SWAT team, driving an armored truck through the front window and blowing out the windows with their drills yesterday. So it was a pretty cool way to start demolition, which you have seen out there. And then the really cool part that has come with this building is, Rob was at Oakmont for 10 years. Mark's there 3 months, and he already got the marquee done. So congratulations, Mark Wiljon, for getting that marquee done. But no, that was important for the Oakmont community, and I know when this started, our board was adamant that be included. So thank you, Scott, again, for making sure that happened. We're real thankful for that, except for the lady who said it's now too bright. So, volume up, lights up, we're good. Today I had the opportunity to sit on a panel for the California Economic Summit that was downtown, and they bussed about 80 people out to Sierra College for lunch and to listen to a panel. Most of it was around how we advance manufacturing training, because it's such a high need. And with Bosch here, they will be doing the first of their kind manufacturing in this entire country. And so the need for people to go into the manufacturing sector is tremendous right now. And our working with Sierra College in kind of building that relationship. So that was really neat. It was President Duncan, Dr. Scholes, Greater Sacramento Council, Economic Council Executive Director, and then Bosch's HR Director. And so the question for me on that panel is, what has that partnership with Sierra College been like, and how are we currently expanding it to meet the needs in the manufacturing sector? And Sierra College has their mechatronics program. We're looking at putting mechatronics, I believe, starting at Antelope and hopefully spreading it. But it really, our engineering programs, our biomedical programs, computer science programs, all lead into that sector. So it's going to be really neat to see what comes with that and how we can build that relationship, starting with, K-12 and all the way to a company like Bosch here in our backyard. So that was really cool today to be a part of that. And then last but not least, again, everyone's talked about it, but the Santucci golf tournament. It's been the same folks that have really made that thing go. Internally, Joe, Judy, make it go. Judy rounds up her crew, and they're there every year. They're so consistent. They're in the same seats every year. It's like, there they go. It looks like it runs itself, but there's a lot of meetings involved. And Joe and Judy on our side do a lot. But the Cara Garcia, Aldo before he passed, Ryan Ronco, Kirk Euler, Holly Romero, Melissa G. Trying to remember some others. Joe, if I forget, I'm going to mention them later. I believe Lisa Kramer. I mean, these people make it happen every year. And they do it with such a great spirit to continue doing it. And it's about $25,000+ in annual scholarships for our students. So I just appreciate them for doing this every year. And then again, our principals participating, that's great. Because again, it's all for our students. So much appreciated to those involved in that. That's it.
Mel, we'll start with you. Anyone else?
Yeah, I do not have a report this time.
Wonderful report.
Nothing from HRE.
Wonderful report. No report. Wonderful report.
Well, I was requested to make a report, so I would just say, just to give we're still tabulating the final expenditures, but we raised about $20,000 to $25,000 in this year's Santucci tournament.
Awesome. Wonderful report. All right, we'll now go to our committee reports. I think I heard some of that.
You did.
So we'll get a brief report from that. Has any other committees met? No. Okay.
Okay, so yesterday, we had our first SILT meeting for the 2024-2025 year, and Amy Black was inaugurated in her role and did a great job. And I really appreciated observing the collaboration between all of the teams from the different schools, and just to see we have such a wealth of resources in the district with all of our teams, and to see one table saying, hey, we were thinking this, and another table saying, okay, well, we did it this way, and that collaboration, I just think is so useful and helpful for our district. So we looked over social psychology and world studies course outlines, and we had a presentation from Rainer Kenny from West Park, and he was proposing a new environmental resources CTE course, the first class of that course. So it was great. It was a really, really good meeting.
Thank you very much. Now, the Natalie report.
I wasn't gonna give a report, but I was like, oh my gosh, there's a pedestal, I'm gonna use it yet. Actually, no, I wasn't gonna give a report, I lied, I know Pete likes no reports, I gotta stop talking, here we go. So I think we should literally open every board meeting with a performance, because if you looked around, there was that many smiles. So after the election, when things shift and we start hearing the public comment, they come back in and just perform, just to calm the nerves down. So I really appreciate that, that was really, it made me smile, I'm a huge, I don't cry, but I kind of giggle on the inside, so that's all good. So it's been pretty quiet, and we've really enjoyed it. We've been able to focus and actually give to the students everything that we have. And we know that's coming up to election year, and the new building is kind of like shifted and all that. We appreciate all that. Couple things. Number one is, once things kind of calm down, can we stop switching meetings around? Can we just stick with a date and not cancel and move things around some 14,000 times? But I understand moving is hard. That's not condescending. I didn't mean that in a weird way. That was like legit. I understand that. Second is, we have the opportunity, as a democratic society, we have the opportunity to vote. So I ask everybody this month, less than like 20 days to go vote and voice it. Just voice that. There we go.
Thank you, thank you. Our next item is public comment. Is there anyone from the public that would like to address us? Seeing none, we're going to move to the consent agenda. So just so everyone's clear, 6.7 has been pulled off the consent agenda and will be dealt with immediately following the consent agenda. 6.13, make sure that I have 6.13 is dropped completely because the attachments we didn't take the agenda on time. And then I know we have at least a couple of comments on the others. So if you have comments on the consent agenda, the ones that are not getting pulled, you can make those now, get brief comments.
Okay. I didn't know when that option would be. I knew
Right.
you would tell me though. So I just wanted to make a brief comment on agenda item 6.16. And mostly it's the approval of the MOU with the Special Olympics Northern California. And I just wanted to spotlight, as I looked through that, I just wanted to spotlight the growth of that program over a short amount of years. I didn't count 2021 or 2020, but from 2021, 2022 to now, it went from 4,000 to 6,000 impacted students, and that's huge. And 6,000 students is half of our student population. So I just wanted to, I wanted to highlight that, and Mel said that the money that Special Olympics has increased our money because of the success of our program, because of Hayden, and especially what she's doing, and you, Mel, and the money has helped buy jerseys for all the athletes and equipment. So I just thought that needed some recognition.
Speaking of money, 6.4, we had another couple of large donations, $1,000 to Wood Creek and 2,500 to United Bay. So if you know the people who made these donations, please extend your personal thanks as well. Any other comments? Otherwise, I'll look for a motion on the consent agenda.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. We'll go right down in order. Marlo?
Yes. Yes.
Yes for me?
Yes. Yes.
And our student board members?
Yes.
Yes. All right, that passes unanimously. Now we are going to do 6.7, and thank you for Tiffany for asking for that to be pulled. This is an issue that, the first time I went to Roseville High School for a sporting event, I was like, what? This makes no sense at all, that we have a road going right through our high school. And it just made no logic. And then I remember, that was before I was on the board, and my first time I went and did a tour with former principal Nick Richter and walked out there, it really was even more confounding when you get to walk around and see what was there. So I knew that this school district had been working on it for a long time. It's great to have. I don't even want to come with it all.
I really just was hoping John or Joe would just take a minute to comment on the history behind this, because I haven't been involved the whole time, but as I've been learning, I mean, it's decades in the making, so this is a huge, huge step. So I just wanted a little more understanding for those who may be listening and recognition for that.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Roseville High School was built kind of in the middle of a neighborhood. You know, when you have a 120-year-old school, there's some interesting things about it. And so one of the challenges is there's a large street that goes through, kind of splits the school, where the cafeteria and some buildings are on one side of a street and the majority of the campus is on another. So part of the problem is there's access, and that's what we're addressing for one of the houses to their garage that goes through the street, Campo Street. And so it's been a long time in the making. It's funny, as we were moving and going through lots of paperwork, I was sharing with Scott Davis an old folder that my secretary Laura had, where there's some meeting notes from 2014. And it referenced a meeting in 2009. So this is a project that has been needed for a long time to really secure our campus. It's been desired from all the prior principals and all the staff at Roseville High School. So it's really exciting that we make this big step. And I'm gonna give, once again, hats off to Scott Davis, because when I told him that, you know, here are the main things we want to do with Roseville High School, one of the items I said, and we're gonna finally close Campo Street. And so looks like we're pretty close to being able to do that. So it's really exciting just for the safety of our students and for the staff on the campus.
Thank you. Would you like to make a motion now?
I'd like to make a motion that we approve agenda item 6.7, approval for Roseville High School campus security purchase of Campo Street access rights for homeowner.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Did I hear ayes all the way down again? All right, so that passes unanimously. All right. Now,
Yeah, Martin took credit, you should take credit for this one.
How long were you principal, Brian?
I was the principal in 2009, yes.
our two rookies got it done. We're now going to move to one of my favorite topics, the adoption of the school calendar. I know that this is something that has been frustration at times for our parents, because we've had kids that go to different school districts. There are feeder districts in our district. And I know when I first moved up here, I could not understand how the calendars could be so much different between schools, because I came from a place where all the schools had the same calendar, which makes a whole lot of sense. So I know there's been an effort to work on this from our staff perspective, from the feeder schools, all the boards of all of the districts have agreed this was something that we needed to work on. We went from being really far away, almost being identical, to moving far away, and now we're back to almost identical again. So thanks for all that hard work. I think, Brad, you're going to lead us off on this. And I think that, at least for the new board members, maybe if you can outline the process that gets us here, because it's not just we make a calendar, bring it to the board. There's a few steps that happen before that and after we take action.
Right. So I also like to recognize Scott Becker, who is part of RSDA's executive board. And so the two of us do a lot of collaboration together on the calendars. So for example, Scott's already reached out and wanted the template for the 26-27 calendar. So we're already starting to work on that, different options that may be out there. So staff works with RSCA to come up with a few options. They, as a unit, vote on which one that they would like. We have got it so fine-tuned now that we really have a pattern in terms of what those calendars look like, because there are a couple of things that are unique to the high school district that are different from the K-8 districts. For example, we're on a semester system, they're on a trimester system. We want to end our semester before the winter break. We want courses to end before the winter break, and we want to balance. We want this close to the same number of days between the fall and the spring. Those things aren't necessarily important to the partner districts. They have a trimester system, and they have things like minimum day weeks where they have parent-teacher conferences. And they all have, each of us has a different number of teacher work days and professional development days. So we have to scatter those in there as well. So where we have really tried to tighten it up is the beginning of the school year, the end of the school year, when we have our breaks. But there are also some things that are going to be unique to each district that may be past practice, may be just part of their culture. And as school boards approve a school calendar, the impacts and effects of that need to be negotiated. That's why we work so closely with RSCA on this, and our partner districts have to do the same thing. So, for example, Dry Creek has historically had a 2-week spring break, and that is something that their staff feels strongly in retaining. So whereas we all have the same spring break, the same week off, Dry Creek has a second week. I think they actually start before us, but they have a second week. Well, that means that they end school a week later than we do. The other place that we're working on is Eureka. They like to start the second week of August rather than the first week of August. And for them to move their calendar up means that for one summer, they have to take a shorter summer. And so they have to convince their staff that that is a good thing to do, knowing that they'll get those days on the other end. They're going to have an extra long summer the following year. So we're working through those, and each district administrative team and negotiating team and their union leadership are working together to try to develop those calendars. But I do feel I am very pleased that we have gotten to the point where our start of dates of school are in alignment, other than the one with Eureka. Our winter break, Thanksgiving break, spring break for the most part, other than the extra week at Dry Creek, are pretty much in alignment. There may be a difference of a day or two, oftentimes because, for example, Roseville City works 189 days. So they have additional professional development days. So they might tag on an extra professional development day at the end of a break. So the teachers come back to work, but their kids are out one more day. So we try to be in alignment, but there are some things that are unique. We're closer than I think we ever have been, and we'll continue to do that. Our goal is always to get out our calendar first, and the reason for that is we have 3 partner districts, and they're sending their kids to the high school district. So, and then usually the concern is that the high schoolers be available if the younger kids are at home. It's not so much when the younger kids are at school and the high schoolers aren't in school. That's okay. It's best if we put our calendar out first, and then they can try to align with us. So what I brought to you today is a calendar that RSCA and district leadership have agreed to. We think it's a great calendar for the following year, for the 25-26 school year. It mirrors this school year with the week-long President's Week and the 2 weeks at winter break and a start date that's roughly the same. And if we can get that out early enough, that will help inform our partner districts, who I've already vetted this with. They don't see any major changes or issues or concerns. And they appreciate having that ahead of time so that they can inform their discussions. And so I have that calendar that's there, as well as a calendar for Roseville Adult School, which their calendar is a year-long calendar because they go to school during the summer as well. And but they do try to align their holidays, their start dates, their professional development with the rest of the district. But it is a year-long calendar. So we bring both calendars to you, asking the board to approve both calendars for the 25-26 school year. Hopefully that answered your questions.
Yes, I think it is a very good overview. Thank you. I know 10 years ago when I saw my first calendar, that we were off by 3 weeks at the beginning and 3 weeks at the end of summer. So if you had a family like mine with kids in both, you lost 6 weeks of summer, which was just crazy. So we've gotten it down now to relatively little difference, and I know the families appreciate it. I think our staff does too. You know, we have a lot of our teachers who have kids that go to that school district, and vice versa. So I think it works well for everyone involved. Does anyone have any questions on that process? All right. Do we have a motion to adopt these calendars?
I will make a motion to adopt the calendars.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, we'll take that as unanimous. We now move on to staff comments. Anyone forget to say anything? All right. We always have our pending agenda items. We've got a bunch of, well, actually, we don't have that much stuff on here since we're rolling up to the end of the year. So our meeting in 2 weeks, does that mean we have nothing to talk about? Or do we have some stuff?
Yeah, as of right now, it's a vacant agenda from our end, so.
That's good, that's my birthday, I'm gonna be home instead. So, I'm sure you'll let us know, Natalie, sorry. We might cancel a meeting.
No.
But you know, if you want, you can come give your report at my house. So bring a birthday gift, and
I know what you like.
and you can talk as much as you want. All right, anybody else? We have a motion to adjourn? Nobody wants to leave this beautiful new room? I mean, look at this TV. All right.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
We have a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thanks, everybody.